The Life of Chuck stars a lot of people. A lot of great actors. And it's directed by Mike Flanagan, who did Oculus, Hush, Ouija Origin of Evil, Doctor Sleep. I haven't seen all his films, but he's made some good stuff, kind of creepy stuff that I really enjoy. And it basically follows sort of a group of people in this in the city where there's disasters going on everywhere, the internet's all gone, and people are starting to wonder whether it's the end of times. And it sort of follows various characters and has a very unusual structure, non-linear and multiple perspectives. And I gotta say, this movie was kind of phenomenal. It's a very character-driven story, so I have a feeling that it won't be for anyone because the movie does set up a big mystery and never really gives you the answer for it. But what I really like about it is it seems to go one way. You think it's some sort of existential sci-fi mystery, but then it just kind of pivots into something else entirely, and it worked really well. What's interesting about this is it's originally based on a short story made by Stephen King, and that sort of got adapted into a movie that's hour 40, hour 50. So there's sort of a concern on whether the pacing would take a hit, but I never really felt that way. The first act is probably the weakest, even though it's not bad by any means. It feels a little slow, but not necessarily in a bad way. You're still trying to figure things out, and the story kind of places certain building blocks, but it's the second and third act where everything just sort of comes together and the emotional beats start hitting really hard. And I'm trying to be as vague as possible because I think this is a movie best going in blindly. I just knew Mike Flanagan was directing it. I didn't really know anything else. But the performances they're phenomenal. And these are actors, you look at the cast, and they've certainly have proven to be very talented. But even so, it's really surprising. Mark Hamill plays like a grandpa of one of the characters. And at one point, he just goes on for 3 or 4 minutes about math. And it's great. All in all, this movie, it's really hard to describe. But basically, it's sort of a sci-fi fantasy drama that's told in a non-linear fashion, but executes it amazingly. It starts out as a mystery, but becomes this very emotional story that people will certainly resonate with. The acting was great, the writing was pretty great. There's quite a bit of narration, but while it's a little jarring at first, I did come to really like it. And the ending is just, without spoiling it, it was kind of perfect. So, it's a movie that might underwhelm some because the central mystery is never really explained. You just kind of have to come with your own sort of theories, but I don't mind that. I think more movies should go that route, and it hits the emotional beats. The acting's great. Every time I think there's a standout performance, someone else comes in and does a great job. So I don't really have many complaints with this movie. Maybe the first 20 minutes, it wasn't as engaging as the rest, but you sort of need that first 20 minutes. It's still good. There's still a lot of things I like, but Life of Chuck is absolutely worth watching. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the year's best in my opinion.